Bring it on.
So I mean, do the ethics come into play at all in your mind when creating pricing strategies like this? And then my second
second question, sorry.
Is,
Matt was explicit that there would be one question.
This ties in. If what you're doing really is legal and right as far as the eyes of the law are concerned, then can you explain why you're the subject of multiple federal investigations right now?
Yeah, well, I'll take your second question first because it's more interesting. I mean, politicians love to beat up on guys that are seen to be, public enemies, if you will. You know, that's a great way to get elected. That's a great way to get your.
It's an even better way to get elected if you put them in jail.
It is. Just ask our friend Elliot Spitzer. But at the end of the day, that comes with the territory. I probably would have raised the price higher, is probably what I would have done.
Why?
I think healthcare prices are inelastic. I could have raised it higher and made more profits for our shareholders, which is my primary duty. And again, no one wants to say it. No one's proud of it. But this is a capitalist society, capitalist system, and capitalist rules. And my investors expect me to maximize profits, not to minimize them or go half or go 70%, but to go to 100% of the profit curve that we're all taught in MBA class. The second question is about reputation.
But if you're maximizing profit for your shareholders, why are you spending it on R&D?
Well, that's going to maximize long-term earnings.
Okay.
So those R&D investments, we hope to make 10, 20, 50 times our money on.
Are you Robin Hood stealing from the insurers and giving to the R&D community? Is that the...
Maybe, but before we self-label ourselves, I think the harder thing is, try to be a CEO yourself, see how it goes. Try to maximize profits and not get kicked out of a company and let me know how that goes for you. Price drug's really low. You won't last very long.
Did you anticipate? It was certainly helped by the short squeeze. There were a lot of people short. We've all seen short squeezes. There's nothing wrong with them.
I see some former hedge fund managers here, and there weren't that many people short Calabios before. I don't think there are that many.
Just that one guy
right now.
With the
the poor guy who lost his life savings betting against a company with a fabulous cancer drug. As far as I'm concerned, he deserves to lose all his money.
So we supported the drug when it was $13.
He gets fair response here, Mark.
We don't support the drug when it's $750. My question for you is, have you talked to the infectious disease community to see if anyone's being harmed by your new product?
I actually do think you guys support it because you're not excluding our drug, are you?
No. If doctors want to use your drug,
so it sounds like you're all good.
We are all good with our dollar solution. That's true.
You're all good. So if someone writes a prescription right now for Daraprim, you're still accepting it.
That's correct.
Awesome, man. Thanks for your business.
Have you talked?
Right next to Pfizer. Is this on purpose?
It's a little on purpose. So I walk by here every morning. I go to work and I walk by Pfizer's quote-unquote world headquarters, and they don't have one lab in there. They don't have any research going on. This company's cut billions of dollars of research, and they raise price all the time. In fact, they raised price on 100 drugs just last week, and nobody wrote anything about it. But so it's fun to kind of walk by here and simultaneously see what I love and what I hate. I love drugs and how they can help people, but I also hate companies that are kind of hypocritical and full of shit, and Pfizer's a good example of a company like that. So.
I think you're getting heckled right now.
No, he said free Shkreli, so that's great.
Oh, I think free is like, I'm gonna hit you. Sorry, never mind.
No, it's all love. It's probably FBI.
So. Yeah, there you go. So
fucking FBI messing with my business.
This is the spot.
Checking to see if it's FBI. It might be FBI.
So you play the Sicilian defense frequently, or?
No, I don't know what that even means.
Okay.
So I don't understand what wine we're drinking, and I don't understand the game that we're playing, so it's fine.
The Sicilian defense is one of the more popular moves in chess.
The United States is one of the few countries only countries that doesn't set drug prices. Why do you think that's a good thing?
I'm not sure it's a good thing, right? I mean, I think countries that set drug prices, that's sort of an imaginary concept. No country can set a drug price. Drug companies set drug prices. What kind of is misunderstood and what people don't understand is they're companies, they have owners, and their owners demand that they extract as much profit as possible. And that's the rule of law today. If you don't like that, you know, I don't know what to tell you. That's the way the world works.
I'm happy to concede that you won, although, I mean, I didn't check, so I guess that's fine. Good game, man.
Good game.
Yeah, cool.
How do you pitch what seems to me an ideological pursuit to be the poster boy of capitalism versus actually running a company and having to go against DC, which you have to kind of negotiate and dance around to have a successful company? Can you do both, be the CEO of a company in this country and be the poster boy of capitalism? We have an administration that's very thuggish and bullyish when it comes to companies. They look at them as targets, and people as well, as targets to shake down in essence. And actually enforcing justice is not their goal. I think their goal is to make a name for themselves, to extract these billion-dollar settlements. And one has to tread very carefully, and that's why some of the greatest business people have kept the lowest profiles.
And particularly,
you know, and learning at a young age that, you know, the government in many ways is an apparatus of vengeance, and you know, to be a little cynical about it.
Media made it an issue, and I always love it when people come on the show and say that. Hillary Clinton was running. She tweeted about it.
She's an apparatus of the media.
Bernie Sanders talked.
He's also an apparatus of the media.
An apparatus of the media, using the media to get their message across, because that's what people do, and the media's here to.
It's no secret
to be an ideas exchange.
It's no secret that the media plays favorites.
Well, but I wouldn't go as far as that much.
Okay, whatever.
You are a free markets gentleman, are you not?
Sure.
Okay,
that
so
means.
why do you think the drug was priced at $13.50 before? Somebody thought that was the right price for this drug.
Markets aren't that rational.
The market said $13.50 worked.
Yeah, if you look at drugs like Sovaldi, for instance, Daraprim is less expensive than Sovaldi, despite the fact that it treats a disease that's far more severe and far less common. So if you think about free markets and fair price, it's pretty clear that you know, Daraprim was not priced appropriately
Does Daraprim...
Martin, we do appreciate you coming. I got to ask you one more question. You know, in response to all of this attention and doctors and patient groups saying they can't access this drug, are you going to change the price?
No.
And in fact, I think there's a saying y'all familiar with. It's called, I wish you would.
Question is, what emotion was behind? Was it real or was it comedy?
It's real. It's 100% real. Everything I do is real. What kind of question is that?
The type of question is that if it's real, there could be real consequences in that it might be a criminal threat.
You think it's a criminal threat? What are you, a lawyer?
I am.
Yeah, actually it is.
Funny enough.
Come on, Martin, you set that up.
You know, that are in hip-hop and these guys take it seriously. Are you worried about the repercussions of that?
No, they're worried about the repercussions. You saw the video. Get out of here, man. Now you're disrespecting me.
We saw the video and we just thought,
well, look,
I can't make
Martin,
it. You're saying you're not serious.
Here's the deal. This is not going to end well, clearly. So thanks for the time. We really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to take a break.
Come on, he's playing it.
He's totally playing this. He's not serious at all.
I just don't understand where you guys are coming from.
I feel like you think of yourself as sort of Lex Luthor. And you are Lex Luthor.
You guys are imagining that. You know, at the end of the day, I just react to things how I react to them. It's not an act.
How's the album, by the way?
It's none of your business.
Well, you can at least you can give a review. You don't have to tell us specifically what's on it. But how's the album?
100% none of your business.
You won't even say good or bad, huh?
Nope.
Well, you were playing it in the background of the video you made, and you're already playing some of it. So we just figured we'd ask how is it?
I paid the money, so you won't know. As you know, I've spoken to his people. As you know, I've got my own business to worry about.
Right, now he's flaunting in our faces.
Right.
Wow.
Okay, well,
look.
look.
So you're not going to help out Bobby Shmurda at this point because you've got your hands full.
This is my coaster, as you guys can see here. It's where I put my blood. But
I made a drug like that once. It's for a disease called pantothenate kinase-associated neurodegeneration.
Okay.
With respect to this disease, I made a drug that, since I basically sat there and I said, these kids couldn't make vitamin phospho-B5, in essence. I decided to make phospho-B5 for them.
So you're saying their physicality, for whatever reason, wasn't capable of it?
Their enzyme, they can't make the enzyme.
Okay, so they lack that. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's a genetic disease.
Okay.
their parents had a terrible stroke.
So you came up with something new for this?
Yeah, I looked at the.
That's wonderful.
What's your name on Facebook?
Jilly, Jilly.
Yeah.
Sears, like the store,
Okay.
but no relation, unfortunately.
Okay. I have to make sure I unfriend you.
I'm calling about your auction.
I don't like the New York Post, man. Fuck the New York Post.
I don't know what I can do about that.
Yeah, fuck the New York Post and fuck you.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I mean,
With your bitch ass.
we're family paper, man. I can't print that.
Where do you live?
You know where I live.
Where do you live? I don't know where you live.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Live in Brooklyn. So who are you gonna donate the money to?
None of your fucking business. Fuck you and fuck the Post. I just said none of your fucking business.
Okay.
Why are you calling me? Why are you calling me? Why do you think this is your business?
You're posting publicly.
Well, who the fuck do you think you are calling me? Telling me to call you. I don't give a fuck about your job. Fuck your job. Nobody gives a fuck about your job. You're making 60 grand as a fucking post writer trying to make ends meet in Brooklyn? Is that romantic to you?
But if you do want to talk about, selling.
I'm talking about you sucking my dick.
Yeah, that's not really gonna make it into the paper.
Not gonna happen either?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, go suck a dick.
All right.
How did you feel when Bernie rejected your donation?
What donation? What are you talking about?
The donation you gave him?
Oh, I was making fun of him because he raised money $5 at a time from poor people. I thought that was funny, so I gave him the maximum amount of money possible as a joke. I'm like, hey bro, I'll help you out, as a joke.
Yeah.
Because I was making fun of him.
Were you a Bernie supporter?
No, he's an idiot.
No.
Anyone who supports him is an idiot.
So who are you supporting?
I don't support anyone.
Oh, okay.
Last time I checked, you didn't have to vote. How does that L feel?
How does it help anybody?
How does the L feel?
It doesn't.
It doesn't feel anyway? Because it probably burns. I believe that the voting age should be moved up to 25 years of age.
I think that we should revoke voting rights to the elderly.
I don't know about that. I think people...
If they're not going to be here after they've made their decision, why should it count?
They pay taxes. Young people don't pay taxes, like your poor ass. Right? Why should you decide anything? You don't fucking pay taxes. You're paying your $10,000 of taxes? What the fuck is that buying? Seriously, why should you decide anything?
No, I guess you're right.
Fucking votes should be given out based on the number of dollars you fucking pay in taxes. You should get one vote for every dollar you pay in taxes. So you would have no votes. So Bernie Sanders doesn't spend my fucking money that's paying for everybody. Do you think government spending is 100% efficient and we need more of it?
No, it's definitely not efficient, but I think that Bernie's plans were to make it more efficient.
He's going to definitely, lifetime politician's going to make shit more efficient. The guy's never worked a day in his life.
But don't you think that the needs of the many exceed than the needs of the few?
No.
No?
No.
Well, then I guess we're very different people.
Yeah, I'm glad Bernie lost. Because you can't get by on the votes of 18-year-olds that think it's a political revolution. Every 18-year-old thinks he's the first guy to fucking think of this shit. It's hilarious to me.
But don't you think that the youth is important?
Yeah, it's important that the youth wake the fuck up.
To what?
To reality.
To the reality of today?
For reality.
Well, why can't we change reality? Is that not a possibility?
Reality is great, as it is. Me and other smart people in a lot of power, and you and other poor, let me finish, you and other poor, stupid people without any power. That's good.
You seem very entitled in calling me stupid.
Well, I'm a genius, and I'm rich,
You are.
and you are poor, and you
You're
sound
very
stupid.
Smart and you have a lot of money. I agree.
Yeah.
That's
So I should make decisions, and you should, like, do something else. Like, play
But if I
Parcheesi.
do something else, then I'm not going to get where you are. So where does that leave me?
Well, wake me up when you get there. Then we can talk, because I'm going to have shit handed to me. I'm from a poor-ass neighborhood in Brooklyn. My parents are janitors. I did work hard to get here.
They're very proud of your success.
Yeah, I am fucking proud of it.
And I'm sure they are as well.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I know, when you did it, it was an immediate price hike.
Yes.
And here with EpiPen, it's been slow
They try to
over
sneak it in.
time. Yeah. I mean, is that part of it, too, that all of a sudden somebody went, wait, the cost has gotten up to this amount?
We, when in the touring boardroom, when we were trying to decide, whether to take it 50x price increase in one shot or do it in subsequent shots.
5,000%.
50x
Yeah.
is 5,000%.
Yeah, right.
And we, there's a bunch of executives who said, Martin, if we just do this a little bit at a time, no one will notice. And I said, no, they'll notice. It's not going to matter. And here, you see people noticing it. I'm going to say something insensitive, and I hope you forgive me, but everyone's thinking about the patients' families. Nobody's thinking about Mylan.
Well, I think a lot of people would say, look, it's a pharmaceutical company, and they may not make a lot of money off this one particular medicine, but let's not think that these pharmaceutical companies are away some of the...
CBS and NBC have higher margins than Mylan, and Mylan makes life-saving drugs, and media companies make content. So at the end of the day, this isn't a company that's doing that well.
It was interesting, just from scrolling Twitter again and going back, I know you wrote that some of these life-saving drugs that we're finding are because of the competition, because of the high prices. If somebody sees, and it stood out to me, how is that? You referred to MS specifically.
Yeah, I'm really happy you asked about that.
Saying that because of the high prices, we now have better drugs.
Yeah, it's a little nuts. There's a small company called Biogen. It's now a very big company. And they sold a drug for multiple sclerosis. People used to laugh at multiple sclerosis in the drug industry. It's not a laughing matter if you have it. And I have a great friend in Brazil who has it.
Right.
The first MS drug, called Avnex, barely works. It really kind of stinks, and it has terrible side effects. But they started selling it for $30,000 a year. And before you knew it, you could actually make a lot of money doing that. The old way of pharmaceuticals was to sell pills for $500 for a year, or $1,000 or something like that, closer to the price of toothpaste and stuff like that. And then companies like Biogen said, well, for these really niche specialty drugs, we can make the patients happy. There aren't that many MS patients relative to cholesterol patients, but if we have a higher price, we can actually afford to make some profit, in fact, make a lot of profit, and have a drug for MS. So they did that and had this first kind of crappy drug, and a bunch of other drug companies said, hey, I can make a better MS drug than that, and I can make $1 billion. So now we've got 7 MS drugs. They're fantastic. And my friend Pedro in Brazil, hope you're watching, he is now on the new souped up MS drugs that, in fact, Pedro sat down with me and he said, what's going to happen to me? You're a drug expert. What's going to happen to me? And I said, you're going to live a long, super healthy life.
So that competition, in your estimation, helped to develop these other drugs that now offer your friend and other people who are afflicted with this disease more opportunities to get better.
Pfizer and Merck thought MS was not worth their time. It's so nonsensical. I think the prosecution should be embarrassed. They barely did their homework. And if you actually look at the investors, and you can call them yourself, they made triple their money in the hedge fund. Triple. In fact, these investors testified that if Martin started another hedge fund, I'd be the first investor tomorrow. So I think the government's, we've caught them in a number of lies, we've caught them in a number of bad behaviors, and we're going to stick to them.
Why do they keep coming after you?
I just can't fathom. I guess it might have something to do with me being very handsome, very wealthy, and very funny.
There's one other thing, and this is literally straying even further away. You talk about being upset. Harambe, who is the gorilla that was killed at the Cincinnati Zoo. You on Twitter talk about caring so much about him, that the life meant so much. The Cincinnati Zoo has come out and asked people to stop using memes, and you've used a lot of memes in social media. How is that respecting Harambe by doing that when they're asking to stop in order to honor him?
Sure. So as a sort of moonlighting scientist, I work a lot with non-human primates. We call them in the labs NHPs. So any rhesus monkeys, capuchins, all the way up to the higher order species. I have, my brother and I especially, have this deep fondness for animals that are so close to humans.
So are you going to stop memeing Harambe?
I think what I'm trying to do, no, is a short answer.
On the advice of counsel, I will not be giving an opening statement.
I want to ask you a few questions. What do you say to that single pregnant woman who might have AIDS, no income, and she needs Daraprim in order to survive? What do you say to her when she has to make that choice? What do you say to her?
On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is it pronounced Shkreli?
Yes, sir.
See, there you can answer some questions. That one didn't incriminate you. I just want to make sure you understand you are welcome to answer questions, and not all of your answers are going to subject you to incrimination. Do you understand that, don't you?
I intend to follow the advice of my counsel, not yours.
I just want to make sure you're getting the right advice. You do know that not every disclosure can be subject to the Fifth Amendment assertion. Only those that are that you reasonably believe could be used in a criminal prosecution or could lead to other evidence.
I intend to use the advice of my counsel, not yours.
I know you're smiling, but I'm very serious, sir.
Huh?
Press them to lower the price of these drugs. You can look away if you like, but I wish you could see the faces of people, no matter what Ms. Retzlaff says, who cannot get the drugs that they need. And I truly believe, are you listening?
Yes.
Thank you.
Martin, let me start with you. Turing says that discounts with hospitals could reach as much as 50%. This comes after a 5,000% price increase. So we're still talking about a very expensive drug at the end of the day. How does this potential discount make the drug Daraprim more affordable?
It's always been affordable.
It's always been affordable after the 5,000% increase and the 50% discount?
I've been on Bloomberg before to explain this, yes.
Can you explain it again?
No. I gave voluminous amounts of interviews on this topic. Daraprim is affordable to every customer that needs it. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself.
Well, you've also said that no patient needing Daraprim would ever be denied access. How do you ensure that?
We insure it the same way every other drug company does. 60% of our drug is given away for $1. I've said this many, many times in the media.
Yeah, no, and to your credit, you did explain this in the release, and you have said it, and you talk about the patient access programs, talk to physicians who give you guys credit for some of the things you've been doing there. But it's also, I guess it begs the question of, are commercial payers going to get this? People who have this condition and need it are getting reimbursed at it with a commercial payer. Are they going to have access to these discounts, or is this just so hospitals can stock more easily?
I'm not even sure I understand your question. The goal of our system is that no patients left behind. 60% of our drug is given away for $1. Anyone who can't afford our drug is eligible for a patient copay assistance program and other sorts of safety nets. And this further price reduction will help even more for hospitals who have difficulty stocking a large amount of capital expenditure.
So to the extent that there is a need to try and inform the public, I hope tomorrow's reports inform the public that Martin Shkreli went to trial, and despite being Martin Shkreli, he won more than he lost. Okay? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Правда назад, черный каскад. Вижу твой взгляд, степь многояд. Мог тебя взять, но ты не моя.
Hey, so I tried to learn Spanish in prison. There were a lot of Hispanic prisoners, or I should say Latinx prisoners. And then Lolo had taught me something like a week ago, where he said, you really want to fuck somebody up mentally, say, yo bebo leche de hombre. I said, leche, that's milk, right? And he said, yeah, you drink a lot of milk, that's why you are a gran maricon. I said, of course. Yeah, I am lifting weights, lifting the bar at the bench press and everything. So then he says, so Tone, I was like, yeah, I hope I'm not intimidating, but yo bebo leche de hombre, bro. And he goes, bro, That means you drink man milk.